The gym was always full of energy. Young boys came there every day to train. Some wanted to become strong. Some dreamed of becoming boxers. Others just came to hang out with friends. The sound of music, laughter, and punching bags filled the air. Every evening, the same group of boys gathered near the boxing ring. They joked, laughed, and sometimes made fun of new people. No one took things too seriously. They believed they were the best in the gym, strong, young, and full of pride. One day, something unusual happened. The front door of the gym opened slowly. A quiet silence followed. Everyone turned to see a new person entering. But it was not a strong young man. It was an old man, thin with gray hair and slow steps. He wore old shoes, loose clothes, and carried a small water bottle. "Whose grandpa is this?" One of the boys laughed. Another boy shouted, "Hey, uncle, the yoga class is next door." The gym echoed with laughter. Some boys stopped lifting, weights just to see the old man. His face was calm. He didn't react. He simply looked around the gym, then slowly walked to a corner and sat on a bench. He watched everything silently. For the next few days, the old man came at the same time, every evening. He didn't talk much. He didn't train. He just sat there, watching. Sometimes he smiled when someone threw a good punch. Sometimes he shook his head when someone made a mistake. But he never said a word. The boys found it funny. "Maybe he's a retired coach from 100 years ago," they joked. "Maybe he just comes here to enjoy the air conditioning," laughed. Another, no one showed respect. No one asked who he was, except for one boy, Ayan. Ayan was different. He was not the strongest in the group. In fact, many boys teased him too. But he had a kind heart. He noticed something strange about the old man. There was something in his eyes, like he had seen a lot, like he knew something they didn't. One evening, Ayan sat beside the old man. "Sir, do you like boxing?" he asked politely. The old man looked at him, smiled a little, and said, "More than you can imagine." That was all he said. The next day, the old man brought a notebook. He opened it and started writing while watching the boys train. Sometimes he drew diagrams. Sometimes he noted something quickly and closed the book again. The boys noticed and laughed louder. "Maybe he's writing a story about our muscles," one boy shouted. "Yeah, or maybe he's writing love letters to the punching bag." Another joked. But the old man never got angry. He just smiled. His silence made some boys uncomfortable. They didn't understand him. He was different, too calm, too quiet. And yet something about him felt powerful. One evening, things changed. The boys were showing off again. Rocky, the leader of the group, was punching the heavy bag with full strength. After a few punches, he turned to the old man. "Hey, old man, why don't you come here and show us how to punch?" he shouted. The other boys laughed loudly. "Yeah, show us your grandpa power," one said. The old man stood up slowly. The gym became quiet. He walked towards the punching bag with slow, steady steps. Everyone watched closely. They thought he was joking. Maybe he would trip and fall. Maybe he would punch and hurt his hand. They were ready to laugh. But the old man said in a low, firm voice, "Only one punch. That's all I'll give. Watch carefully." No one laughed now. Ayan stood at the side, his eyes wide with curiosity. The old man took his position in front of the bag. He took a deep breath. His hands formed a fist, his eyes focused. For a moment, the whole gym was silent. Even the music stopped. And then, he threw the punch. Wham! The sound echoed through the gym like a thunderclap. The heavy bag swung hard and fast, like it was hit by a truck. Some boys stepped back in shock. A few even lost their balance. No one could believe what they just saw. The old man stood there, quietly. His hand was steady, his face calm. He turned and walked back to the bench without saying a word. No one laughed. The gym was silent. Rocky looked at the bag, still moving. His mouth was open. For the first time, he had no joke to make. "Who "Who is he?" one boy whispered. Ayan smiled. He had a feeling this old man was special. From that day, everything changed. The boys stopped laughing when the old man entered. Some started watching him instead. Others whispered about the punch, but no one knew the full story. Not yet. Who was this old man? Where did he learn to punch like that? And why did he stay silent all this time? The gym that was once full of jokes now had something else. Curiosity and respect. But the old man still said nothing. He just watched and waited. Because this was just the beginning. The gym was no longer the same. Since the day the old man threw that one powerful punch, everything changed. The boys who once laughed now watched him with wide eyes. The old man had done something none of them expected. One punch, and he had shaken the pride of every boy in the gym. But even after that, he didn't speak much. He didn't teach. He didn't show off. He just came, sat in the same corner, and watched. Every single day. No music could cover the sound of silence that followed him. No joke could match the punch he had thrown. The boys had questions, but no one had the courage to ask. Except Ayan had always felt that the old man had a story inside him, a story full of pain, maybe even regret. That day after the punch, Ayan walked up to him. "Sir, that was amazing. Can you teach us? Can you teach me?" The old man looked at him. His eyes were soft but full of weight, like he had seen too much. He gave a small smile, but said nothing. Ayan sat beside him and didn't speak either. Just sat. That day, they both watched the gym together, silently. The other boys were confused. Rocky, who used to lead the group, was quiet too. He didn't like being ignored, and he didn't like being shown up by an old man. Still, even he didn't dare to challenge the old man again. "He got lucky," Rocky muttered one day. "Old man must have learned some trick in the army or something." But deep inside, even Rocky knew, that punch wasn't luck. That was skill. One evening, a new trainer came to the gym. His name was Samir. He was young, muscular, and full of confidence. The gym owner had called him to help train the boys better. Samir didn't know anything about the old man. He started shouting commands, correcting forms, showing new moves. The boys followed him, but their eyes often drifted to the corner where the old man sat. Samir noticed and got annoyed. "Why is everyone staring at that old guy?" he asked. "He doesn't even lift a stick," Rocky tried to explain. "Sir, he's not normal. He threw one punch last week. It was crazy," Samir laughed. "Really? One punch? That's what impressed you? You boys need real training, not ghost stories." That evening, Samir walked up to the old man. "Sir, do you need something?" he asked with a fake smile. "Because this place is for boxers." The old man didn't reply. Samir pushed again. "If you're not training, why do you come here?" The old man finally looked at him. "To watch," he said. Samir laughed. "Watch what? These clowns punching air? You think you can do better?" Silence. The old man stood up slowly, his back straight, his hands behind him. "I don't need to prove anything," he said softly. "I already did." Then he walked out of the gym. That night, the mood in the gym was heavy. The boys felt something was wrong. Ayan was especially upset. He felt the old man had been disrespected. He decided to follow him. At a distance, he saw the old man walk down a quiet street toward a small house at the end of the lane. The house looked old, just like him. Ayan stood behind a tree and watched. The old man took out a key, opened the door, and stepped inside. For the first time, Ayan realized the man lived alone. The next day, the old man didn't come, nor the day after. The gym felt different again, empty. The new trainer, Samir, tried to bring back the energy. He cracked jokes, played loud music, gave hard drills, But no one laughed the same way. No one trained with the same passion. Even Rocky didn't speak much anymore. On the third day, Ayan made a decision. He skipped training and went to the old man's house. He knocked gently. No answer. He knocked again. After a minute, the door opened. The old man stood there looking tired. "Ayan," he said, surprised. "Why are you here?" "Because the gym is not the same without you," Ayan replied. "I want to learn, not just boxing. I want to learn your story." The old man sighed and stepped aside. "Come in." Inside the house, it was quiet. No TV, no music. Only a few pictures on the wall. One of a young man in a boxing ring, hands raised. Another of a man holding a trophy. And one old photo of a child, smiling wide, sitting on the shoulders of that same boxer. "Is that you?" Ayan asked. This old man nodded. "Yes. Long ago." Ayan sat down. The room smelled of old memories. The old man looked at the pictures for a long time. "I was once like you," he began. "Hungry, fast, fearless. I was a champion. I had fans, money, fame, everything." Ayan listened closely. "But one day, I lost something I couldn't win back." He looked at the picture of the child. "My son." Ayan's eyes widened. "What happened?" The old man didn't answer directly. His eyes were wet. He took a deep breath. "I stopped boxing after that. I stopped living, really. I come to the gym because it's the only place that feels alive." A long silence followed. Then he said, "But you remind me of him. Your eyes, your heart." Ayan felt something warm in his chest. Pain, but also connection. "Will you teach me?" he asked again. This time the old man nodded slowly. "Yes, but only if you're ready to learn more than just how to punch." Days passed. The gym was quiet again, but this time, not with laughter, but with focus. The boys had stopped making jokes. They trained harder now. Something had changed inside them. And the reason? The old man was back. But now, he didn't just sit quietly in the corner. He started watching more carefully. Sometimes he nodded. Sometimes he shook his head slowly when someone made a mistake. And sometimes he whispered something to Ayan. Just small advice. Bend your knees more. Breathe before the punch. Don't fight with your hands. Fight with your mind. Ayan followed everything like a student listens to a master. Day by day, he improved. His punches got sharper. His footwork became smoother. His focus became stronger. The other boys noticed. "Why is he teaching Ayan only?" one of them whispered. "Maybe he sees something in him," said another. Rocky didn't like it. He had always been the leader of the group, the strongest, the loudest, the one everyone followed. But now all eyes were slowly turning toward Ayan. Rocky's pride couldn't take it. One evening, while everyone was training, Rocky dropped his gloves and walked toward the old man. The gym fell silent. "So, you're training him now?" Rocky asked, pointing at Ayan. The old man looked up slowly. "He wants to learn," he said. Rocky laughed, but it sounded forced. "And you think he's better than us? Better than me?" The old man didn't answer. Rocky stepped closer. "How about this? Let's have a match. Ayan versus me. Tomorrow." Everyone gasped. The old man still said nothing. Ayan looked at him. "I don't want to fight," he said quietly. But the old man finally stood up. "Sometimes," he said softly, "you don't fight to win. You fight to prove what you believe in." He looked at Ayan, then back at Rocky. "If you both agree, I'll allow it. 1 match. 3 rounds. Rocky smiled. "Good. Let's see what Grandpa's student can do." The challenge was accepted. News spread through the gym like fire. Everyone was talking about it. Rocky is going to crush him. "No way. Ayan is different now. You can see it in his eyes." Some were excited, some were nervous, but everyone was curious. The old man didn't show any emotion. He simply told Ayan, "Don't try to hit hard. Try to hit smart. That night, Ayan couldn't sleep. His hands shook a little. He wasn't scared of Rocky. He was scared of failing his coach, failing the man who had trusted him. He stood in front of a mirror and repeated the words the old man had told him. Breathe. Think. Punch with purpose. The next day arrived. The gym was full. Even people from outside came to watch. The boxing ring was set. The crowd circled around. Phones were ready to record. The lights were bright. Rocky entered first, full of confidence. He raised his gloves and shouted, "Let's go!" People clapped and cheered. Then Ayan entered, calm, focused. His coach stood silently behind him, the old man, eyes sharp as steel. The bell rang. Round one. Rocky came in fast, throwing wild punches. He was strong, no doubt. His hits were loud, heavy, and dangerous. But Ayan dodged them. He didn't panic. He moved carefully. He waited. The crowd shouted with excitement. Rocky landed one punch, then another. Ayan felt it. It hurt, but he remembered. Don't fight with your hands, fight with your mind. Then, Ayan countered, a clean jab to Rocky's chin. Rocky stepped back. The round ended. The old man said nothing, just gave a small nod. Round two. This time, Ayan moved first, light on his feet, sharp with his eyes. He saw things differently now. He could read Rocky's punches before they came. Rocky grew tired. His punches lost speed. His breathing was heavy. Ayan stayed calm. He used everything the old man had taught him. One punch to the ribs, one uppercut, another jab. Rocky was in trouble. The crowd was no longer sure who would win. The old man finally spoke, very softly. Now, end it with respect. Round three. Both boys were tired. Rocky looked angry. His pride was hurt. He came in wild again. Ayan saw his chance. One clean hook to the side of the head. Rocky dropped to his knees. The referee counted. Rocky stood back up at 9, barely, but it was over. Ayan had won. The crowd exploded with cheers. Some boys jumped, some clapped. The old man didn't smile. He just walked up to Ayan, placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "You fought well. But more important, you fought with heart." Rocky stood up, ashamed. He looked at Ayan and said quietly, "You're good. I mean it." Ayan nodded. "Thanks." The gym had changed again. Respect had returned. But more than that. The old man was no longer just the old man. He was now coach, and his story was just starting to unfold. The video went viral. Someone had recorded the old man's powerful punch from a few weeks ago. The punch that had silenced the gym and sent the heavy bag flying like paper. It was now all over the internet. Old. Man punches like a pro. Is this the strongest grandpa in the world? Real-life Rocky? Thousands of people shared it. Some laughed. Some were amazed. But many were simply asking, who is he? Back in the gym, Ayan showed the video to the old man. "Sir? You're famous now." The old man just smiled and said, "I'm not looking for fame." But things had already changed. That afternoon, a black car stopped outside the gym. A tall man in a leather jacket stepped out. He wore sunglasses and walked with a strong, confident step. His name was Zakir Khan, a retired boxing champion, and now a well-known boxing promoter. He walked into the gym, looked around, and said loudly, "Where is he?" Everyone paused. "Where's the old man?" Zakir asked again. Ayan stepped forward. "He's not here right now." Zakir looked at him. "Tell him I saw the video. Tell him Zakir Khan wants to meet him." Then he left a card and walked out. That evening, Ayan ran to the old man's house and gave him the card. The old man looked at it. His face changed. His hands shook slightly. Then he said, "Zakir Khan. I never thought I'd hear that name again." "You know him?" Ayan asked. "Yes," the old man said quietly. We fought each other once, a long time ago. Ayan's eyes went wide. You were in the ring with Zakir Khan? The old man nodded. He sat down slowly. His voice was soft but heavy. I was once a rising star, undefeated, fast, powerful. People called me the Hammer. I trained day and night. Boxing was not just a sport, it was my whole life. Ayan listened closely. Then one day I got a chance to fight Zakir. It was the biggest match of my life. We fought like animals. Round after round, blood, sweat, pain, and in the last round, I made a mistake. He looked down. I dropped my guard. 1 second was all it took. He knocked me out. The room was silent. I lost that fight. But I lost more than a title. I lost my confidence. I walked away from boxing. I never returned to the ring. Ayan's heart hurt hearing that. But sir, he said, you still have that power. That punch. You're not finished. The old man smiled sadly. My time is over. I am just a shadow now. But Ayan stood up. Then maybe it's time the world sees that shadow shine. The next day, the old man returned to the gym. Everyone looked at him with respect. He walked up to the office, picked up Zakir's card, and made the call. Later that evening, Zakir returned, this time with a camera crew. You don't look much different, Zakir said, smiling. Still serious, still dangerous. And you still talk too much, the old man replied. They both laughed. Zakir sat down with him and said, You still have that punch. I saw it. It's pure, real. The world needs to see more. I'm not interested in fame, the old man replied. Then do it for them, Zakir said, pointing to Ayan and the boys watching. Inspire them. Show them that age doesn't end the fight. Only doubt does. The old man looked at Ayan, then he nodded. Zakir smiled. There's an exhibition match next month. Old legends showing their skills. No pressure. Just one round. Just you. One last time, Ayan whispered. Do it, sir. For all of us. The old man took a deep breath. All right. Training began, but this time it was different. The coach became the fighter, and the students became his support. Ayan helped with warm-ups. Others held the pads. Rocky helped with defense drills. Even Samir, the new trainer, offered help, now with full respect. The gym had never felt so alive. Each punch the old man threw echoed with purpose. Each step reminded him of his past, and of his second chance, and this time he was not alone. Ayan stood beside him, and in his heart the old man knew. This wasn't just his fight. It was their fight. The gym had changed. Where once there was noise and laughter, now there was focus. The old man, once quiet, once forgotten, was now the center of attention. His name? Nobody knew it still. They just called him Coach. But to Ayan and the boys, he was more than that. He was living proof that greatness never dies. The training for the exhibition match had begun, and it was serious. Every morning, the old man arrived early. He stretched slowly, worked on footwork, and hit the bag with precision. His punches weren't just strong, they were perfect. Smooth, sharp, dangerous. Zakir Khan visited often, watching the progress. He was impressed. You're not rusty, Zakir said one day. You're just awakening. The old man didn't smile. I'm not doing this to prove something to others, he said. I'm doing it to finish something I left incomplete. Zakir understood. But not everyone was happy. Far away in a different gym, another old fighter was watching the same viral video. His name was Rauf the Rhino Malik, a retired boxer once famous for his brutal knockouts. He had fought Zakir Khan years ago and lost, and now he watched the old man's punch on repeat, his face tight with jealousy. This old man thinks he's still a fighter? Rauf growled. Let me remind him what the ring really feels like. He called the exhibition match organizers. I want him, Rauf said. 1 round, no acting, real punches. The organizers agreed. Back in Ayan's gym, the news came as a shock. Zakir entered with the update. "Coach," he said, "your opponent has changed. It's Rauf Malik." The gym went silent. The old man froze, then whispered, "Rauf." Ayan looked confused. "Who is he?" The old man didn't answer. He walked away and sat in the corner. Zakir explained. Rauf was known for only one thing: hurting people. He didn't fight to win, he fought to break. His last match ended with his opponent in the hospital. Ayan looked at Coach. "Sir, we can back out. It's just an exhibition. No need to risk your health." But the old man shook his head. "I walked away once. I won't walk away again." That night, Coach trained harder. He didn't care about the cameras. He didn't care about the crowd. He cared about one thing: finishing his story. But then, 2 days before the match, something happened. Coach was training late. Ayan was helping him. As the old man threw a powerful left hook, his knee twisted. He fell to the ground. "Sir!" Ayan rushed to him. Coach held his knee, teeth clenched in pain. Zakir came running. They called a doctor. The result was clear: a sprain, not a full injury, but dangerous for someone his age. One wrong move in the ring and it could become permanent. The doctor gave him a choice: rest or risk damage that may never heal. Coach looked at the floor. His hands were strong. His heart was ready. But his body was fighting back. That night, he sat alone in the gym. The lights were dim. The bag hung quietly in front of him. Ayan walked in. "Sir, it's okay if you don't fight. You've already inspired all of us." But the old man didn't answer. Instead, he said, "When I was young, I fought for pride, for money, for titles, and I lost everything." He turned to Ayan. "This time, I'm fighting for peace." Tears formed in Ayan's eyes. "Then let us help you," he said. "We're your team now." The next day, the boys built a new routine. Lighter on the knee, smarter footwork, more balance. No waste of energy. It wasn't about fighting like a lion anymore. It was about fighting like a master. And slowly, the pain faded, and the fire returned. The exhibition match day arrived. The stadium was packed. Cameras flashed. Reporters whispered. Everyone was waiting to see if the old man would actually show up. Then, silence. He entered the ring, not with loud music, not with fireworks, just a slow, quiet walk, and a look in his eyes that said, "I am not finished." Across the ring stood Rauf Malik, bigger, meaner, and full of hatred. The bell rang, and the crowd held its breath. The bell rang. The crowd went silent. 2 old fighters stood face to face in the ring. One, Rauf the Rhino Malik, heavy, angry, full of muscle and rage. The other, a quiet, calm old man, with eyes that had seen pain, failure, and now hope. Ayan sat in the front row, holding his breath. "Please stay safe, sir," he whispered. The first few seconds passed. Slowly, Rauf moved first. He rushed forward with a heavy punch. The old man stepped back just enough to dodge. The punch missed by inches. The crowd gasped. Rauf smiled. "Still fast?" he growled. The old man didn't reply. He stayed light on his feet, just like Ayan and the boys had trained him. Rauf attacked. Again. 1 punch, 2 punches, 3. Each time the old man dodged or blocked. But then, a body blow landed. A loud thud. The old man winced. His knee bent slightly. Rauf saw it. He smiled wider. "Weak leg. I see it." He aimed again for the same side. This time, the old man stepped aside and threw a short uppercut, clean and sharp, right to Rauf's jaw. Boom! The punch wasn't wild. It was precise. Rauf stumbled back. The crowd stood up. Phones were filming. People were shouting. The old man raised his gloves. This wasn't about age anymore. It was about heart. Ralph came back swinging wildly, angry now. His pride was hurt. He wanted to crush the old man, hurt him, finish him. But the old man was not scared. He stayed calm. He watched carefully. And then, as Ralph charged again, the old man stepped to the side and launched the punch that had made him famous. The same punch from the viral video. The hammer. His full body moved in one flow. Leg, waist, shoulder, fist. Crack. The punch landed on Ralph's cheek. Perfect timing, perfect placement, perfect power. Ralph's head turned. His body froze for a second. Then he dropped. Flat on the mat. The referee ran forward. The count began. 1, 2, 3. The crowd was roaring. 6, 7, 8. Ralph moved, but too slowly. 9, 10. It was over. The old man had won. He didn't raise his hands. He didn't shout. He just looked at the crowd. Then he looked at Ayan and smiled. Zakir. Khan entered the ring and held his arm up. Ladies and gentlemen, some flames never go out. People clapped. Some cried. Some just stood still, shocked by what they had seen. Ayan ran to the ring and hugged him. "You did it?" he said. "No." The old man replied softly. "We did it." That night, the news spread everywhere. Unknown elderly boxer defeats former champion. The hammer is back. Age is just a number. Offers came in, interviews, shows, sponsorships. But the old man refused them all. He returned to the same small gym, wore the same old shoes, drank the same cup of tea, and coached the same group of boys. But now, they didn't just call him coach. They called him a legend. Days passed since the match, but the memory of the hammer was still fresh in everyone's mind. New students started coming to the gym. Reporters still called. Some even came to the door. But the old man, the coach, stayed the same. Quiet. Calm. Focused. He trained Ayan and the boys every morning. His leg was still healing, but his spirit was strong. Stronger than ever. One afternoon after training, Ayan stayed behind to clean the gym. He noticed something strange. Coach had forgotten his small brown notebook on the bench, the one he always carried but never opened in front of anyone. Out of respect, Ayan didn't want to touch it. But a strong wind blew in through the window. A folded letter slipped out from the back of the notebook. It was old, yellow. The paper had lines like cracks in dry earth. The name on the front? To Zara. Ayan froze. He whispered, "Who's Zara?" He looked at the door. Coach was still outside, speaking to someone. Ayan picked up the letter. He didn't want to read it. But something pulled him in. He carefully opened it. The handwriting was neat, slow, like it was written with pain. "My dearest Zara, I don't know if this letter will ever reach you. I left without saying goodbye. I was a coward. I chose boxing over love. I thought I could have both, but I was wrong. When I lost that fight, the one that broke me, I didn't just lose in the ring. I lost you. I wanted to come back. I wanted to say sorry. I wanted to knock on your door and tell you I was still the same man. But shame kept me away. I kept this letter for years. I wrote it 100 times. I never had the courage to send it. If somehow you read this, know that I never stopped thinking about you. I hope you are happy. Love, Faraz." Ayan's heart felt heavy. Faraz, the coach, finally had a name. He quickly folded the letter and placed it back just as Coach walked. Faraz looked at him and smiled. "All done cleaning?" Ayan nodded, but he couldn't forget the name, and he couldn't stop thinking about the letter. That night, he went home and searched online. Zara plus Faraz plus boxing. Nothing came up. Then he tried something else. Zara Boxing School, Karachi 1. Results stood out. A small, old training center in Karachi named Zara Fitness Club. Ayan stared at the screen. Could it be her? Was she still around? And if yes, should Faraz know? The next day, Ayan stood outside the gym holding his phone. Coach walked by. "Something wrong?" he asked. Ayan hesitated. Then he said softly, "Sir, who is Zara?" Faraz stopped. His smile faded. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he looked into the distance and whispered, "My biggest regret." Ayan showed him the phone. "I think I found her, Jim." Faraz took the phone, looked at the screen, and didn't speak. His hands trembled slightly. Then he handed it back and said, "Some doors are better left closed." But Ayan replied, "Maybe some doors are waiting to be opened again." Faraz looked at him, and for the first time in many years, he didn't say no. That evening, Faraz took the letter. He stood outside the gym, and for the first time in 30 years, he walked toward his past. Faraz stood outside the building. The sign above read, "Zara Fitness Club, established 1997. The same year he left boxing. He stared at the door. His hands held the old letter, the one he never sent. His heart beat fast, faster than before any boxing match. Not because of fear, but because this was a fight he had been avoiding for years. Ayan stood beside him. "You don't have to do this if it's too hard," he said. Faraz looked at him. "This is harder than any opponent I've ever faced. But maybe it's time." He walked up to the door and pushed it open. Inside, the place was small, simple, and clean. Pictures of women boxers and young athletes filled the walls. At the front desk, an elderly woman was speaking to a young girl, correcting her footwork gently. She turned slowly. Time had touched her hair with silver, but her eyes were the same. Zara. She froze when she saw him. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Faraz said softly, "Hello, Zara." She stepped forward. "Faraz?" He nodded. She looked at the letter in his hand. "You still have it?" "I never had the courage to send it," he said, "but I always wanted to." Zara looked down. Her eyes watered. "I waited," she whispered, "for a long time." Silence. Then she smiled, a little sadly. "You disappeared like a ghost." "I thought I was broken," he replied, "and I didn't want you to see me that way." "But I never needed you to be perfect, Faraz," she said. "I just needed you to stay." He stepped forward. "I'm not here to change the past," he said. "I just wanted to say sorry and thank you. You helped shape the fighter I became and the coach I am now." Tears fell from her eyes. She didn't speak. She simply opened her arms, and after 3 decades, they finally shared the hug that never happened. Ayan quietly stepped out of the room, letting the moment breathe. A few weeks later, the gym was busier than ever. Faraz stood in the center, watching Ayan train younger kids. Zara had visited the gym twice already, helping the girls start their own training corner. The gym was no longer just a place of sweat and strength. It had become a place of healing, of hope, of second chances. Zakir Khan arrived one afternoon and joked, "You came back to boxing to inspire. Now look what you've built. A whole world." Faraz smiled. No trophies, no medals, but maybe. "This is the real victory." He looked at Ayan, who had grown stronger, wiser, and he knew the torch had been passed. That evening, Faraz walked alone to the old heavy punching bag. He touched it gently, remembering that one punch that changed everything. Then he whispered, "Some fights are in the ring, but the most important ones are inside us." He raised his fist, and with a smile, gave the bag one last soft punch.